It begins with the kind of silence that makes even the walls hold their breath. A silence that stretches across 2 decades of fear, loss, and unanswered questions on Friday night in South Carolina. That silence ended with 3 rifle cracks that marked the final moment of Stephen Bryant's life. At 44 years old, Bryant chose the firing squad, rejecting the needle and the electric chair, as if even his exit needed to carry the same unsettling chill that defined 44 years old. Bryant chose the firing squad, rejecting the needle and the electric chair, as if even his exit needed to carry the same unsettling chill that defined the crimes that brought him here. Hooded, strapped to a metal chair, a small red bullseye taped over his heart, he gave no last words. He only lifted his head slightly, one final glance towards the 10 witnesses whose lives had long been entangled with the horrors he left behind. 55 seconds later, rifles fired from just 15 feet away. The target snapped forward. A dark wetness spread across his chest. His body twitched once, twice, and then the stillness returned. At 6:05 p.m., a doctor pressed a stethoscope to his chest and declared him dead. But the story doesn't start in this room. It starts in 2004, on lonely rural roads where Bryant turned ordinary moments into scenes of terror. 5 days, 3 men murdered. One, Willard T.J. Teachin, shot multiple times in his own home after Bryant claimed car trouble. When Teachin's phone rang, Bryant answered, his voice flat and cold. "I'm the prowler, I killed him." Days before and days after, Bryant picked up 2 strangers needing rides, and when they stepped out to relieve themselves in the dark, he shot them in the back. The kind of cowardice that makes a community stop trusting its own shadow. Officers canvassed dirt roads, warning neighbors not to help anyone, because help itself had become the trap. For 21 years, those families lived with an emptiness that never healed, a justice system that moved slower than grief, and a killer who spent his days waiting while the people he hurt spent their nights remembering. Behind his violence lay a past soaked in trauma, sexual and physical abuse by relatives, brain damage from his mother's drinking, addiction so desperate he smoked joints sprayed with bug killer just to forget the memories clawing at him. His attorney said he was a soul tortured from the inside out, a man who found peace only in nature, water, or the few friendships he salvaged behind bars. But the courts were unwavering. Trauma may explain a monster. It does not excuse one. When South Carolina restarted executions in 2024, after a 13-year pause caused by drug shortages, Bryant's countdown began. He became the 7th person executed in 14 months, the 3rd by firing squad this year alone. Some call it primitive. Some call it the most precise form of execution left. Either way, when the curtain opens, the ritual is always the same. The heart marked with a bullseye, the hood pulled down, the shooters waiting behind black-shaded glass, the rifles rising in silence. No warning, no mercy, just a flash, and then a life measured by the sound of bullets hitting bone. Witnesses still talk about the last firing squad victim, how the shooters barely hit his heart, and he suffered longer than anyone expected. That worry hung in the air tonight as Bryant's body spasmed on the chair. The doctor eventually stepped forward and with a single nod ended the chapter that began with fear in 2004, Stephen Bryant's final meal. Seafood stir-fry, fried fish over rice, stuffed shrimp, chocolate cake, now becomes a footnote in a story that was never about him. It was about the families sitting behind the glass, fingers intertwined, finally watching the man who tore their lives apart take his last breath. It was about the certainty they had been denied for 21 years. For some, this is justice. For others, it's proof that America hasn't moved as far from its violent past as it claims. But tonight, under the harsh white lights of the death chamber, one truth stands unshaken. The echoes of a firing squad are not easily forgotten. And South Carolina has shown the world that bullets are back. Maybe justice doesn't always arrive quickly, but when it does, it comes with the force of 3 rifles aimed at the heart.